I've always believed in the idea that humans share equally as much of a capacity for evil as we do for good. Though we wish not for everyone to see it, both you and I have a side to us that is driven by greed, lust, power, a facet to our being that is malevolent. This is commonly referred to as the shadow side, a feature even the purest of souls possess somewhere within. This duality is seen not only in humans, but throughout much of life and the world as a whole. Misfortune greets us regardless of what position we're in. As the saying goes, to live is to suffer. The dark is obviously intimidating, for so often it remains uncharted territory. Perhaps we wish not to confront the inevitability of mortality, whether it be amongst oneself, our loved ones, or both. It could be possible that a harsh epiphany awaits us regarding an unhealthy habit, life situation, relationship, job, etc. Wherever you are at this very moment in time, I want you to analyze your current stance in life. It could be any one of those components I just mentioned. I'm sure you have a lot to appreciate in your journey. Simultaneously, there's likely much that is yet to fall into place. I know I have my own daily questions, struggles, and anxiety. It is within all of that chaos, however, throughout each and every element that resides on planet Earth and in this lifetime, that we must come to embrace both sides of the spectrum. Light would not be light if dark were not dark. If every moment were spent in happiness, joy, security, and love, where would the story lie? Where would progression and perseverance seep in? It is in human nature to be captivated by a story in which there is a protagonist who encounters a struggle of great magnitude. We're drawn in by the faults and insecurities of the main character, for it humanizes them and allows us viewers to feel a sense of compassion and relatability. Many of us are placed under circumstances we didn't wish for. For all we know, the life we live, the foundation we abide by, was not chosen under our own accord. Yet too often I see people using this as an excuse and victimizing themselves for an eternity. I believe the true awakening transpires once you realize you are the key. You might not have possessed the power to choose the life bestowed upon you, but it is in your capacity to paint whatever canvas you most desire in the forthcoming chapters of your journey. Some people may struggle with their weight, conflicted by their own habitual cravings. Others might find themselves entangled in a toxic relationship, knowing not what to do or how to move forward in their life. Many people experience abuse in their childhood, and while some are very aware, it takes years for a vast number of victims to accept, or in some cases even realize they were victims in the first place. The scenarios appear infinite, and while some may have it worse than others, none of us are immune. I struggled with and continued to face the ramifications of what was once a porn addiction. Being so naive to the effects consuming such content had on my brain, my perception of women and human interaction as a whole became so objectified. While I was merely an adolescent, I could never face that reality. To tell you the truth, it was too much. It wasn't until I delved into an egregiously immense psychedelic experience that I was left without a choice but to confront the matter head on, and those hours throughout the endeavor were a living nightmare. With that being said, the answers I received in confronting what had been stored within the depths of my own psyche were incomparable to anything I'd ever uncovered in any moment of self-reflection. When we want something, a goal, a change, a feeling, or whatever the case might be, we must often venture the most trembling of caves in order to stumble upon the treasure we seek. It is in our own evolution and growth as not just a species, but down to every individual, that we become aware as to the necessity in the dark. We typically know what lies on the other side of hell. We simply know not what lies within such madness. Taking on unfamiliar challenges certainly requires a fair bit of preparation. You need to sharpen your mind, understanding that progression is an unpaved road. The biggest problem many of us have is that we do not recognize just what we're capable of as human beings. We tend to take the position of inferiority, assuming all we'll ever be is less than. I always had that complex growing up. I was that quiet kid in the back of the class. What it truly takes in life is confrontation. You really have to prove it to yourself, to face particular fears and take on challenges that you once assumed you were incapable of achieving. Encountering the darkness unlocks layers to who we are, bringing them to the forefront. Although intimidating, chaos is inherently necessary in this universe. Once you recognize the importance of duality, particularly the yin, the shadow, well, my friend, welcome. Your story has only just begun.